Us here on Halftime Report. Let's talk about some travel, and for travel internationally you do need visas, etc. BLS International Services is the stock in focus. The stock has gained nearly 270% in this year, currently under a bit of pressure, but remember last week itself it hit $1 billion in market cap, a beneficiary of the recent trend of revenge travel. To discuss whether this positive momentum continues into 2023 or not, we have Shikhar Aggarwal, who's the Joint Managing Director of the company, joining in. Shikhar, thank you for joining in. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Do you think revenge travel has really peaked out now and inflation will begin to hurt customers? And also long wait times for visas, will that hurt people as well? Because, I mean, first half, your processing volumes are up 70%, your revenues are up 70%. Do you think this momentum continues?
Definitely. As you know, in quarter two, we are, more than 80% up in revenue, and PAT we have declared at 50 crores, which is also growth of 80% compared to last year, same quarter. Definitely, after COVID has, opened, things have opened up, revenge travel has picked up. People are really eager to travel. And definitely we see this momentum continuing. Over the last end of the year, definitely in certain countries, there is different travel demand. There is less travel demand from certain countries, whereas there is an increase, for example, for Indian visas during this month. So definitely we see the momentum continuing in the next year itself. And as you know, BLS International now is present in 64 countries, and we have processed 62 million applications till date.
Shikhar, if you just go to the airport, you'll get an idea in terms of what revenge travel is looking like these days. But, when you say momentum is expected to continue, countries such as China as well as Russia were largely out of the loop this year. Give us a sense in terms of what you're expecting in terms of numbers when you say visa processing going into next year. Is this 70% probably going to be maintained? Are you going to come down to 50%? What are the trends looking like, even if you throw China and Russia into the mix?
See, whatever numbers that we did this year was with minimal numbers coming from China and Russia. And, that itself has led to a 60 to 70% of the total visa volumes that we've achieved. So next year itself, we think that we will maintain that volume. And if there is an addition from China and Russia, which is expected, then definitely there will be an increase in volumes. On top of that, the new contracts that are up for, decision making, and the new contracts that we have won this year itself, which is the German, Thailand, and different other governments, will definitely add to our volumes and revenue and PAT numbers.
Okay. While you're talking about an increase in volumes, and I would get to the specific or at least a range of growth that you're expecting there with new additions there, 20 to 30% higher in terms of revenue per application as well. Do you expect that will also go up considering that volumes are going up?
See, definitely the revenue that we have achieved now per application is higher than what we were doing pre-COVID level. We are definitely trying to increase that revenue per application. I don't know the exact percentage, how much it will go up, but definitely it will go up.
Okay.
Right. Could you give us a sense of the other parts of your business? I mean, e-governance and B2C business, you said would be about 18% of your revenues. You wanted to increase the share of this business going forward as well. How much do you think that could be by the end of this year, and more importantly next year?
See, as you know, recently we did an acquisition for a company called Zero Mass Private Limited, which is a 100 crore odd acquisition. With that, now we have become the largest banking correspondent player for State Bank of India within India. Now, we have combined the entire e-governance and banking correspondent business into a segment called digital business, because now this will require new focus and new momentum for the company. So we have new management, new CEO for this division who is going to head that for us. And we see over the next few years, the growth in both digital business and visa business. So the percentage of revenue split will maintain in both segments of our business.
Okay, so you did around 18% of sales in Q2 from digital services and obviously 80% from visa. That revenue will, the breakup will be maintained going into next year?
Correct, because as you see that we have also won a lot of new contracts in e-governance business, like from the West Bengal government, Karnataka government, and also we have won a lot of contracts in the visa business. So definitely we see a growth in both the revenues and the percentage of split to be maintained in over the years.
Okay, so the percentage split will continue to be maintained in this proportion. 20% margins in FY18, of course, you're talking about pre-COVID levels here. Now, when we are seeing more travel opening up, more destinations opening up, some volumes coming in from Russia and China as well, what kind of margins are you expecting, say, in FY24? 12.6% is what you did in FY22. Will you be able to do better than that? And better would mean by how many basis points here?
See, definitely now post-COVID, the consumer demand has changed. The consumer has demanding different kind of services like mobile biometrics and different kind of services wherein they don't want to come to the center to get their application back. So that has definitely led to an increase in revenue and margin for our company. Going forward, we definitely see an uprise by more than 1 to 2% over the years in the profitability of the company with introduction of more different category of services.
Right. Finally, before we let you go, Shikhar, just leave us with some, thoughts on how much are value-added services as a proportion of your overall revenue, and secondly, is there any other, renewal coming in terms of visa services?
Correct. So value-added services as a whole is 25 to 30%, 25% of the entire revenue. And as you know, in this industry, there are opportunity of $1.5 to $2 billion worth of tenders from different governments that are coming up for renewal, and we are in different stages of tendering. So as and when we are, declared as a winner, we will be announcing to the market, but that will definitely lead to a huge rise in revenue and profitability of the company further from whatever we have achieved in last quarter.
Okay. Just quickly, Shikhar, before we let you go, you did make an acquisition. You spoke about that. You have mentioned that y'all are net debt free and y'all have high free cash flows, which y'all generate as well. So what is the outlook on any kind of inorganic expansion beyond, if you can guide us and leave us with that?
Definitely, as you have seen that over the last few years, you've already done 2 acquisitions, and we are getting good return on our investment. So we are looking at acquisitions in similar lines of business, both in e-governance and in visa outsourcing, where there are 1 or 2 companies globally that are interested in sale, and we are in talks. So as and when the due diligence is completed, when the sale is announced, we will be definitely letting the market know.
Any kitty for acquisition? Any amount that you've set aside that, yes, this is what we'll invest for acquisition?
See, right now, the amount of money that we have on the books, we are definitely looking at acquisition from that amount. So right now, we have not taken any debt even for the recent acquisition. So that is what we wish to maintain as of now.
And of the 62 million applications, how much of them were done in this year?
This is all 31st March 2022 data.
And in this year, how many applications have you serviced?
I think I need to check the exact numbers, but probably around 6 to 7 million we must have done already.
Okay, and Shikhar, I just want to wrap up this conversation by asking you, which is probably the most popular destination for this year in terms of visas?
No, I feel in terms of Schengen clients, we have definitely seen Spain as really upcoming as a very, very fast-growing Schengen destination. If you see going to Spain, the cost of traveling, the hotels, everything is quite competitive in terms of Europe and the climate. So we have definitely seen a very big boost from Spain coming up this year.
Okay, interesting. Makes us all here in the studio want to travel. Shikhar, thank you so much for joining us, and have a great new year to you and everyone at BLS International as well. So that's the word coming in from BLS International. Definitely travel coming back with so much vengeance.
Yes, absolutely. And the delays in terms of getting visas, etc. Let's see how 2023 pans out. But nonetheless, we also have a depreciating rupee on our hands, so you have to take note of that.